Hey guys, so welcome to the channel. First of all, if you're new, then this is not my usual format of video. I don't usually talk on camera. And if you're familiar with the channel, then this is going to be something special for you guys. I wanted to make a top 10 list of my favorite pedals that I've played this year because it was a really good year for effects pedals. Now, this list is not an end-all, be-all, definitive kind of thing. I did not get to play every single pedal that came out in 21. I mean, that would be awesome. But I'm grateful for the ones that I have been able to get my hands a hold of. I've worked with most of these companies, but no, this is not a paid promotional video. None of these companies know that I'm placing their pedals in this lineup. These are just pedals that I fell in love with. And I think you guys will too. So before we get started, just a quick word on why did I pick these specific pedals? And I want to say that there are a lot of reasons why someone might like a pedal. Everybody has their own musical preference, needs, whatever project you're involved in is going to require something different. So someone might define a pedal as better because it has 1,000 presets and all these different digital algorithms that can create a huge variety of sounds. And this is super convenient, which I totally get. But I choose pedals for different reasons. Being a bedroom musician, I'm looking for creativity. I'm looking for uniqueness. And above all, I'm looking for sound. But I also take other things into account, like the accessibility of the pedal. How easy is it to use? Of course, I do always like a pedal that looks really cool too. I can't deny that. But most of these pedals were chosen because they have a really cool combination of all the things that I like in an effects pedal. And with that being said, I'm going to get to it. The Champion Lecce, the Swan Hunter. This pedal is awesome. Lo-fi, dual delay, one straight, one tape with reverb that you can blend in series or parallel. It does ducking, it does gating. There's a low pass toggle for making extremely lo-fi, murky sounds. And it can also be turned off for really clear, pristine, atmospheric stuff as well. It also has an effects loop and a foot switch that can send it into oscillation or break your oscillations. It's just really cool. Next up is the Cooper FX Generation Lost V2. And I know a lot of you guys are upset because it's hard to get a hold of one of these, but if you can, it's incredible. V1 was awesome when it came out a few years ago, and Tom really just added a lot with this version. The tape stop, the garbled tape, the spectral freeze sounds that you can get with the aux foot switch is awesome. 3 presets, momentary or latching on the foot switches, and the interface has never been easier to manipulate. So I highly recommend it if you can get a hold of it. up is the Syntax Error 2 from Alexander Pedals. I love Alexander Pedals. I've played a ton of their designs, and I've had so much fun with every single one. They can really do no wrong in my eyes. And with this new design, they have really thought everything through. The Syntax Error was a pedal that they originally made as a bit crusher, ring mod kind of thing, sample rate reducer, and you could get all sorts of video game sounds with it. It was already really awesome, and it already had 4 onboard presets. It's got, I think 2 or 3 new sound modes. The previous ones have been improved upon, and it has stereo capabilities. It still can be updated by USB. It's got this multi-port for doing all sorts of things if you want to control it with an expression pedal or a foot switch. And it also has a sequencer built in. I think this pedal is really unique. There are other bit crusher sample rate reducing type pedals out there, but this thing really takes it to a whole new level. If you want something that is super musical and super fun and you want to get those video game sounds, this is it. The SolidGold FX EM-III, which is an awesome compact top jack mounted multi-head octave echo. And is it octave up? No, it's octave down on the primary head, which is really unique, and it sounds really cool and full-bodied and not muddy, surprisingly, unless you go all the way dark with the color knob, of course. But this thing's awesome. The octave is optional, and you have the option of 1, 2, or 3 heads on the delay with this toggle switch. It has a flutter control for slow chorusy movement or fast vibrato. It's got this secondary foot switch that can ramp it into this awesome oscillation that doesn't overtake your amp. I love the oscillation on this pedal, and just using it for blast of noise. And it has the secondary control on the bypass switch for glitching out. All in all, this pedal sounds really good. The octave down is optional and totally cool if you want to add it. And you can get a wide range of tones from lo-fi, murky stuff to super bright, clear repeats. Check it out. Okay, so the Death by Audio Speed Tripper. This pedal is extremely unique. It's extremely weird, and it sounds like nothing I've ever heard before. It screams, it wails, it's super psychedelic. You can definitely blow up your amp using this pedal, but that goes to say with a lot of Death by Audio stuff, they do things big. Incredible studio tool if you want to create these swirling sound textures and If you tame it down and use it more like a delay, you're just going to get this cool phased out swooshing delay. It's awesome. Has a lot of uses, but definitely a very extreme effect. And for people that are interested in exploring new sonic territory. This is the Ground Control Audio Noodles. I love this pedal. I love the name. I love what it does. It's a boost that can color your tone in the bass area, mid area, or treble area. And you can choose the exact frequency bands that you want to highlight with those boosts and how much you want to boost of each one. I've never seen a boost pedal that gets so specific with its frequency bands and lets you select, if you want to do sub territory or, around 100 hertz where your low E string is, you can target that with this foot switch and really, tailor your guitar sound to whatever you think is missing. If you have single coils and you want to fatten them up, if you have humbuckers and you want to get more clarity out of them, and then on top of that, you can really use this thing to explode your amp and push it into breakup, or just color your other dirts and drives. So it's awesome. Check it out. Onto the Ground FX Keto. Don't confuse this with Ground Control Audio. Ground FX is based in Germany. Also one of my favorite builders, and their pedals always have this really cool aesthetic, like silver sparkle finish with etched black designs. Their artwork is always really awesome. The Keto V2 just recently launched. This is a chorus spring reverb. It gets super watery, super cavernous sounding. I've played a lot of spring reverbs, and I've never really heard one that sounds like this when it's combined with the chorus sound. My favorite setting on this is just a slow chorus with the spring reverb turned up high, and it's like surf rock heaven. But also great for doom, for ambient, for any kind of really pretty cavernous washy textures that you want. And then it can also be really subtle. V2 here is a smaller enclosure form factor of V1 that doesn't have the secondary chorus. V1 had a second chorus that you could have an alternate time set to, and then there was like a lag control that you could put in between the two choruses to create a little bit of a slapback. And I've had that pedal for years, and I found myself mainly using the single chorus and the reverb to get just these really gorgeous wet sounds. Then Ben decided to make a smaller enclosure that just has the single chorus and the reverb, which really gets to the heart of the sound of this pedal. So the Keto V2, get it. is the Old Blood Noise Sunlight Reverb, which a lot of you guys probably know about by now because there's been a lot of buzz around it, and for good reason. It's a really unique reverb, awesome for ambient, droning, resonant sounds, step filtering. The tape mode on it is absolutely gorgeous. If I just had this pedal in tape mode and a free day's worth of time, I would probably create some really David Lynchian soundtrack sounding stuff. It's just got that like nostalgic warble to it, and when you get the reverb feedback really high, you can get into this awesome infinite wash. I love everything OB&E does, and I really like the Dark Star, and I think the Sunlight is an awesome companion reverb to that. They work really beautifully with each other as well. So next we have the Tefi Vintage Lab Golden Era, another pedal that may be a little hard to get a hold of. Tefi is based out of Italy, and they make pedals in small batches, but if you can get one, this pedal is lush and warm and amazing. It's called a real-time lo-fi machine. So basically it's a really nice filter pedal that can warm your sound up, give you that analog feel. You can shave off some high end, add some noise, add a little bit of randomized wobble and warp, and you instantly have a recording that sounds like it's from another time period. And yes, it is different from the generation loss. The filters sound really different. There's probably a little bit more ease of accessibility in this pedal. Right off the bat, you just have like a low cut or an extreme low cut setting. You have square wave and sine wave options for the wobble and the warp. Very easy to just kind of set up and roll your filter, to a spot that you'd like and go. Very warm and velvety sounding. This and the generation loss are both awesome and can both do the vintage sound. But if you can't get a hold of one, you definitely might want to try to find the other. Finally, we have the GFI System Rossi, which is the best sounding digital filter pedal I've ever played. It's very warm and natural sounding. It has a manual mode, it has an envelope filter mode, and it has a step filter mode, and it has presets. So you can do a lot with this. You can use the step filter mode for this sort of auto wah thing. You can use the envelope mode, which is actually personally my favorite way to use this, to just open up this wow, wow sound on the bottom of your notes, and you can set the sensitivity to match your playing style. Incredible sounding on bass. And then if you want to use it as just a wah pedal, hook an expression pedal up to it, and you can control the range of your sweep. It's really easy to use and manipulate. So definitely check it out. So that is it. That's my top 10 list of my favorite pedals that came out of 2021. It was a really great year. There were some amazing pedals. I'm sure there are several that probably deserve to be on this list that I didn't get to because I just didn't personally have a chance to play them. And I hope to have a chance soon. I'm really looking forward to what is coming out in 2022. Thank you to all the builders that have sent me stuff over the last several years, and for everyone that's watching, for supporting the channel and helping me turn what I do into a career. So I'm really grateful for everyone watching. Hope you enjoyed the first video of me talking. You probably won't see this very often, so maybe not until next year's top 21. I don't know. Please like and subscribe, all that, good stuff. Comment if you have any opinions on whether you liked this type of video or not. And otherwise, I will see you guys on the other side of 2021. So happy New Year and happy pedal playing. Bye, y'all.